how do you optimize your BAH, aka basic allowance housing, and how do you house hack while in the military? Stay tuned in this video as I'll go over optimizing your BAH and go over real life examples with myself and my actual numbers at the end. So, basic allowance housing, aka BAH, aka a lot of money depending where you're stationed at. So BAH is free money for you to live out in town. As I've mentioned before, it is dependent on what your rank is, your location, and if you're married or single. Now, say someone's an E4 stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, or stationed in San Diego, California, their BAH is not the same because, as I've mentioned, it is on the location. For this video, we'll go over a sailor service member that's stationed in San Diego that is an E4 single, and we'll go over those numbers. So currently right now, the E4 single stationed in San Diego, California, their BAH is $2,100. Now, if they wanted to, they could rent a place for $2,100. However, to really maximize that money they're getting that's tax-free, I would highly suggest in looking at renting out a room. Say the average right now is about $800 in San Diego. Renting out a room for $800 with that $2,100 that you're getting will pocket you $1,300 to whatever you want. It could be for down payment for a house, car, it could be for a bottle service on Friday, anything you really want. Just extra money in your pocket, no questions asked. So that's why you want to live below your means. So San Diego's BAH is high. There's other ones like Lemoore is a bit low. So it's dependent on the cost of living of your location. Now, not everyone needs to house hack. House hacking involves becoming a landlord. It is a lot of responsibilities to have a mortgage. It's not just your rent anymore. So it is not for everyone. It's not all rainbows and sunshines. There is work. But if you're willing to put in the work, there is a good payoff in that with home ownership and becoming a landlord. And you just really have to figure out if the numbers work for you. Everyone's situation is different. Now let's go back to that E4. Let's say his status is married. E4 married in San Diego, that BAH is $2,700. You're probably wondering whoa, I don't think I could rent out a room. It's me and my wife and the kids. So a way to lower the cost is also getting base housing. Base housing does, however, take your BAH. Dependent where it's at, they could take all of it, portion. So really look into renting out lower rent, basically. So if it's $2,700, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath in San Diego, I want to say the average is about $1,400. So whatever that difference is will still be pocketed to you. Now remember, married BAH is a bit higher than single, but married BAH comes with a lot of responsibilities. So a number one lesson while first year in service is definitely don't rush into getting married. That's a lot of responsibilities and it is not cheap. All right, so lastly, I wanna go over some ways on being able to cut the cost of rent. In San Diego, it's super expensive, high cost of living. So other than getting a room to rent, get roommates. You're able to split that cost with a roommate. Your roommate will pay their half. Utilities are split, cable, internet, split down the middle. And the more roommates, the bigger room, and it's also dependent on your location. So you want to pay attention on how far from base do you want to live, how much you're willing to pay, because in the end that comes back to how much you're not going to be able to pocket from your BAH. Now say you're already debt free and you're like, yo, I want to go buy a house. I'm financially savvy, I'm smart, I'm ready. Now remember, your BAH is only, if you're an E4 in San Diego, is only $2,100. So you have to look into a mortgage where you're paying just about and definitely under that price. So I wouldn't rush into it. For me and my own experience, I'll share that in a few minutes, but I just wanted to say one of the best ways is really getting the roommates, getting a room, or just being able to be deployed and then still getting that BAH, because then if you're not paying rent anywhere, that BAH is all yours. So as I've mentioned, I was gonna go over my own personal experience and my actual numbers. So back in 2013, I left San Diego. I was already in E5 getting BAH PAH and I moved over to Lemoore, where the PAH was about $900 at the time in 2013. I knew already that I was not gonna be able to just get an apartment all by myself and pocket any money. And I knew, knowing the housing market, it was cheaper in Lemoore and I wanted to buy. So in my first year, I wanna say it was less than like 6 months actually, I rented out a room. The room was $500. Utilities, cable, internet, all included, $500. So I only pocketed $400. Now mind you, at that time I was already working towards being debt free. So I picked up another job and it was just really the timing of the market. I was able to find a home that was foreclosed and I was able to make an offer on it. And not only that, I didn't use my VA loan. I used something that's called a USDA loan, similar to a VA loan. However, it's for rural areas in the country. So with that, I was able to house hack because it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So I rented out the 2 other rooms, which helped cover the mortgage. That's what house hacking is. It's offsetting the mortgage cost by renting out the other unit, or if it's a duplex, the other unit. In my case, the other rooms. However, I paid myself rent. Like I was renting out my own room like I was a tenant in my place, if that makes sense. So that is a way for service members to house hack. My advice, not a professional, definitely go seek professional guidance. My advice is to first be debt free and then generate wealth. With that being said, real estate, buy and hold, which is what I do, is one of the ways I was able to generate that wealth. So 3 few things to leave you guys with is rent way less than your BAH. All that extra money is pocketed to you. Rent a room, having roommates helps split the cost. And lastly, housing is one of the biggest expenses you have. So by being able to lower that, it helps you put more money into your pocket. Right now, it's crazy because about 40% of Americans' income go toward their housing costs. So you gotta think, the lower you have that, the more you're able to save. Thank you for staying till the end. Please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up if you really like this video, or if not, disagree with me and hit that thumbs down. Let me know how I could provide better value content for you. And lastly, comment down below on what you would like me to cover in future videos. And please don't forget to high five that subscribe. Lastly, stay legendary, and I will see you in the next video.